In this video, we're going to go over a paper that was written in 2019 by the GCE. Now here we'll look at question 1 up to question 13. So this is our first party for this paper. Now let's look at the first question, simplify. So the question is 4 minus 2 open brackets b minus a minus 1. So now if you are taught to simplify simply means to make it simple. So first we need to get rid of the brackets, so we bring down our 4 the way it is. Now we are going to expand by multiplying everything in the brackets times -2. So -2 times positive b, it's -2b. Then -2 times -a is positive 2a minus 1. Then here we can collect the like terms. So the like terms, we will have 4 minus 1 minus 2b plus 2a. 4 minus 1 is 3 minus 2b plus 2a. So this is our answer for the first part. Now for question 2, evaluate the fourth root of 81 raised to the power 3. So first need to look at the fourth root before we look at the power. So it is fourth root of 81. So the number that we can multiply by the same number 4 times to give us 81. So let's check for 3. So 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 27 times 327 times 3, that is 81. So the fourth root of 81 is 3 raised to the power 3. Since the question is to evaluate, we need to find the actual numerical value for this problem. So here we are going now to expand 3 times 3 times 3. Since we have raised to the power 3, 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. So this is our final answer. Now for question 3, 32x squared minus 50. So the question is factorize completely. So first let's look at the number. So we need to find the greatest number that is common, that can go into 32 and 50 without leaving a remainder. So here is 2. So x is not common, so we can now open bracket. So we can now divide 2 into 32 is 16 x squared minus 2 into 50 is 25. Now from there we can see that we can break 16. So 16 can be written as 4 raised to the power 2. 4 raised to the power 2, x as a power 2 also. Then 25 also can be written as 5 raised to the power 2. So inside the bracket we can see that each term is expressed or is raised to the power 2. So we can now use the difference of 2 squares. So we open 2 brackets. So this is what you do here. So 4 here, and also we have this 4x here. Then plus the other one must be a negative 5, also here 5. So this is our final answer. So this is how you can factorize a problem like this one by using the difference of 2 squares. Now let's move on to question 4. Question 4 is find the gradient of the line which passes through, so negative 5, 3. So this would be our x1, y1. Then the other pair has negative 4, 1. So x2, y2. The formula for the gradient gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we can now substitute y2 is 1 minus y1 is 3 over x2 is negative 4 minus x1 is negative 5. So we can now simplify the numerator. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. We subtract because of the different signs. Then here we are going to get negative 4. Negative times this negative positive 5. So now negative 2 over negative 4 plus 5 is positive 1. 1 into negative 2 is negative 2. So this is our gradient. Okay, now we can move on to question 5. The Venn diagram below shows 3 sets A, B, and D, C. Use set notation to describe the shaded region. So the unshaded part here indicates the area or the part that was not wanted. So this is like we are looking at the complement. So let's look at A and B. So you can see that A union B, A union B complement intersecting C. So this is our answer. So the A union B intersecting that C is complement, meaning it's not needed. Now let's move on to question 6. So question 6, the vector PQ is equal to negative 3 and 2. Given that the point P is 1 and 4, find the coordinates of point PQ. So P plus Q is equal to this vector PQ. Now let's look at what are we solving. We are solving for the coordinates of Q. So P we are given. So the coordinates for P is 1 and 4 plus Q is equal to, then for PQ is negative 3 plus 2. So we shift this to this side. We are going to get Q is equal to negative 3, 2. So this is positive. If it shifts to the other side, will give us negative 1 and 4. So the point here is, if you have been given one pair of coordinates for one vector, for you to find the other pair is you just subtract the given from the given vector. So here we are going now to finalize our answer. So we can see that we have minus 3 minus 1. Then here we are going to say 2 minus 4. Then our final answer here, we are going negative 3, negative 1 is negative 4. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So in coordinates forms, this will be negative 4, negative 2. So we were using in column forms. Let's move on to question 7. Given that R is equal to matrix 2 by 2 and S is equal to this matrix of 2 by 3, then find ST. So ST, this is a transpose. Now for you to transpose a matrix, you just need to change the columns, becomes the rows, and the rows becomes the columns over the second matrix. So let's look at our answer. So the first row here, our first row is 1, 0, and negative 4 will become our first column. So 1, 0, negative 4. As we can see, we've turned our first row into our first column of the second matrix. Then the second row, negative 2, 1, 1, will become our second column. So it's negative 2, 1, 1. So this is our our S transpose. Now let's look at RS. So RS here is now the product. So we want to find the product of matrix R and S. So begin by writing the elements for R. Then the original S is 1, 0, negative 4. Then here we have negative 2, 1, 1. So we are going to use the row by column. So the first row multiplied by the first column. So here we are saying our 2 multiplied by 2 times 1 plus negative 1 times negative 2. So the first column is done. Let's go to the second column. So this is our first column, second, third. So let's go to our second column. So it's 2 times 0 plus negative 1 times 1. We can now go to column 3. So it's 2 times negative 4 plus negative 1 times, so negative 1, let me first create some space here. So this is 2 times negative 4 plus negative 1 times 1. So we are done with the first row. Let's go to the second row. So it's 1 times 1 plus 3 times negative 2. The second column, it's 1 times 0 plus 3 times 1. Then the last one, it's 1 times negative 4 plus 3 times 1. Okay, let's simplify our answer. So 2 times 1 is 2. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. Then 2 times 0 is 0. Minus 1 times 1 is 1. Then 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Plus negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. Okay, let's do, so 1 times 1 is 1 plus 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 here. So we get negative 6. Then 1 times 0 is 0. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times negative 4 is negative 4 plus 3. Now our final answer here, 2 times 2 is 4. Sorry, 2 plus 2 is 4. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9. Then let's look at the 1 minus 6 is negative 5. Then 0 plus 3 is 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. So this is our final answer for this problem. Now let's move on to question 8. Now question 8, for the sequence negative 10, negative 7, negative 4, and negative 1. Find the 17th term. So let's first look at the sequence. So the sequence is negative 10. So this is our first term. Negative 7. Our second term. Negative 4. Our third term. Negative 1. Is our fourth term. So we are trying to look for the number that is on position number 17. So let's first find the common difference. So common difference is D is equal to second term minus first term. So our second term is negative 7. Then our first term is negative 10. So negative 7 plus 10. So our our common difference is positive 3. So they were adding a 3, negative 10 plus 3 is negative 7 plus 3, negative 4 plus 3, negative 1, so plus 3, we are getting a positive 2. Now from there, we can now go back to the formula. So the formula is Tn is equal to first term in our sequence plus n minus 1 multiplied by d. So first term is negative 10 plus c, where this n is 17, since we are looking for 17th term, minus 1, then multiplied by our 3. So negative 10, 17 minus c, 3 is 16, multiplied by 3. So negative 10 plus 3 times 16 is 48. Then if we add negative 10 plus 48 is positive 38. So this is our 17th term. Now for question B, sum of the first 20 terms. So sum, the formula is equal to n divided by 2 times a plus n minus 1 times d. So 20, where the 20 terms after the n, we put 20 divided by 2. Then the first term is 2 times first term is negative 10. So negative 10 times 2 is negative 20 plus n is 20 minus 1, that is 19, multiplied by 3. We can now divide 2 into 20 is 10, negative 20 plus 19 times 3. So 3 times 7, 3 times 9 is 27, carry 2. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2, 57. So we can see that we have 10. Now in our brackets, negative 20 plus 57, that is positive 37. We subtract, since we have different signs. Then our final answer is 10 times 37 is 370. So whenever you are multiplying by a whole number times 10, you just add a 0 at the end of after the last digit. So since our last digit going to the right is 7, so just add a 0. So 37 times 10 is 370. Now let's move on to question 9a. There are 4 blue and 5 white marbles in a bag. What is the probability of randomly picking a white marble? So probability of picking white, so white is equal to, so how many white? So there are 4 blue and 5 white, so we have 5 over, so the numerator must represent the number of the items that you are trying to solve. Then the denominator must be the total of the all items. So in our case, we need to add 4 plus 5 is 9. So the probability of picking a white marble is 5 over 9. Now let's move on to question B. Solve the equation 2x squared plus 5x minus 3x is equal to 0. So you can use any choice of your, any method of your choice, as long as you are comfortable with. You can use the quadratic formula, completing the square, or you can use the factorization method. Now let's use factorization method. So our question is 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. So we begin by finding the product, then we'll look at the sum, then the last one we'll look at the factors. So the product is the value of A times the value of C. So we can see that our A is 2, our B is 5, our C is negative 3. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, Then the sum is just a value of b with the positive sign, so in our case is positive 5. Now we need to look at the two numbers that we can add to give us 5 and multiply to give us negative 6. So let's look at so the easiest way you can find the two numbers is you get the product. So the product is a negative 6. So you begin with 1. So let's divide 1 into negative 6 is negative 6. Now let's look at 1 and 6. So 1 times negative 6 is equal to negative 6. Then 1 minus 6 is equal to negative 5. So these are the factors. What we just have to do is we just need to swap the sign. So what we are going to do here is our 1 will be negative, then our 6 will be positive, since we know that negative 1 plus 5 is positive 6. So now we can proceed. So we would say 2x squared minus x plus 6x minus 3 is equal to 0. Then we can now factorize. So what is common is x is common. X into x squared is 2x minus x into x is 1. Then here what is common is 3. 3 into 6x is 2x minus 3 into 3 is 1 is equal to 0. So we can see that 2x minus 1 is common. So we'll say 2x minus 1. Then x plus 3 will form a new bracket. Then we equate each to 0. So 2x minus 1 is equal to 0, or x plus 3 is equal to 0. So this one will shift to this side, giving us 2x is equal to 0 plus 1 is 1 divided by 2, also by 2. So the first value of x here is positive half. Okay, so here we are going to get x is equal to 3. When 3 shift to the other side, become negative 3. So negative 3 plus 0 is negative 3. So this is how we can simplify this problem. Now we can now move on to question 10. Given that universal is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then set A 2, 3, 6, 8, B 3, 6, 7, and 9. So list A intersection B complement. So let's look at A intersection B. So let's first find A intersecting B. So let's look at what is common in A and B. So 2 is not common, 3 is common. Okay, so 3 is common. Then 6 is common. Okay, so the common elements in A and B are 3, 6. Now we have been given a condition of complement. So these two elements must not be part of our solution. So we'll say A intersection B complement is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is not part of our answer. 4, 5, 6 is not part of our answer. 7, 8, and 9. So this is our final answer. Then question B, the diagram below shows a prism with a base that is a regular hexagon. So hexagon, it's a polygon with 6 sides. So you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now the word regular means the sides are equal. So if your question is how many planes of symmetry does it have, so for a regular polygon that has the upper and the lower part equal to each, what you just have to do is you need to count the number of sides. As long as the sides are equal, count the number of sides plus 1. So this is simply means the number of times we can cut this prism to have, we can cut into equal halves. So we can cut 6 times, we can also cut in between here. So the key is the planes of symmetry for a question like this one. Is equal to, you just say 6 sides plus 1. So this one has 7 planes of symmetry. So this is how you can deal with a prism like this one. Now you should be going through most of the past papers so that you can see how this question comes and how you handle it. So for a question like this one, you just count the number of sides plus 1, since we can cut it in the middle part. Now we move on to question 11. The diagram below shows point A 60 degrees north and 30 degrees west, B 30 degrees south and 30 degrees west, and C 30 degrees south and 75 degrees east. Now for A, if the local time at B is 15 hours, what is the local time at C? So for B, this is our, so longitude B is 15 hours. So the question is, what time is it at C? So the first step is find the difference in longitude. So let's find the difference in longitude. So longitude B is 30 degrees west and longitude C is 75. So we need to add, since one is on the west side and the other one on the east, so we add. So it is 30 degrees plus 75 degrees. So if we add, we are getting 105. So this 105 represents the difference in longitude. Then after that, we need to convert this difference in longitude into hours. So what you do is you need to divide 105 by 15. So 105 divided by 15. Okay, so 15 plus 15, 30 plus 15, 45 plus 15, 60 plus 15, 75 plus 15, plus 15, 90 plus, so we have 7. So we have 7 hours. If we convert this, we get 7 hours. So now after converting our difference in longitude into hours, we are finding the time ahead. So what you do is you need to add 15 hours plus 7 hours. So we are getting, this is 22. So 15 hours plus 7. So we can now add. So here we get 0. Then this is 12. Carry 1. So here 1 plus 0 plus 1. So that is what you do. Okay, so now let's move on to B. It takes a plane 6 hours to fly from A to B. So from A to B, 6 hours. What is its speed in knots? So for us to find speed, the formula for speed is equal to distance over time. Now time is given 6 hours, so our work, we need to find the distance. Now let's look at the formula. Distance is equal to theta over 360 2 pi r. So we just end at pi r, since we are looking at the distance along longitude. So distance is equal to, now if we are solving for the distance along longitude, we need to find the difference in latitude. So the latitude for A latitude for A is 60 degrees north and for B is 30, so we add. So this is giving us 90 over 360 is same as 4 multiplied by 90, so that I can cancel the 90 times 2 times pi is 22 over 7. Radius is 34, 37. So how do I know that we are using 34, 37 instead of 63, 70? We have been given the condition that the speed should be in knots. So whenever the speed is given in knots, remember to use the radius of nautical miles. So let's cancel. We cancel our 90 here. So we get D is equal to 1 over 4. 4 is same as 2 times 2 times this 2 times 11 times 2. So 22 can be broken as 22 times 11 times. Now let's divide the 7 into 34, 37. So let's look at this number. So 7 into 34. So 7 plus 7, 14 plus 7, 21 plus 7, 28. So we have 4 remainder. So remainder 6. Now 7 into 63. So let's count 7 plus 7, 14 plus 7, 21 plus 7, 28 plus 7, 35 plus 7, 42 plus 7, 49, 49 plus 7, 56, 56 plus 7, 63. So 8. 7 into 7, 1. So we have seen that 7 into 34, 37 is 481. So we can write our 481 here. So let's now cancel. We can cancel this, cancel this number, this also. So we can see that now D is equal to 11 multiplied by 481. Okay, now let's simplify this number. So let's multiply 481. Sorry, this should be this should be 9. So I may make that mistake. It should be 9 because 7 times 7, 49. 49 plus 7, that is 56. 66 plus another, so that is yes 9. Okay, let me just correct this mistake. Okay, so let's go back now. Let's find the actual answer. So 491 multiplied by 11. So 1 times 1 is 1 times 9. 9 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1 times 9 here times 4. So if we add, we can see that our distance is equal to, we have 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, 0 carry 1. 4 plus 9, 13 plus 1, 14, carry 1. So our distance is 55,400 nautical miles. Now let's go back to our question. So speed is equal to, the distance is 5,401 over the time. What's our time? 6 hours. So 6 hours. Now 6. So 6 into 54. Let's reduce. Can we reduce? So 6 into 54. So 6, that is 6 times 80, 48 plus 6, so is 9. So 6 into this one is 9. Remainder we can say 101. So 6 into 100, 6 into 100, 6 into 100, so 6 into 60, so 6 into 60 is 10, 15. So we 15, 16. So 16, remainder 5 over 6. So this is what I'm getting in notes. Hope I'm correct. Okay, now let's move on to question 12a. Evaluate. So 3 raised to the power 0 times 3 raised to the power 3 plus 3 raised to the power 1. Okay, so 3 raised to the power 0 is just 1, because anything raised to the power 0 is 1. So we use the BODMAS. So begin with multiplication, then addition later on. So 3 raised to the power 0 is 1 times 3 raised to the power 3. 3 raised to the power 3 is 27 times 1. This is just 27. Plus 3 raised to the power 3 is 3. Our final answer is 30. Now for question 12. So we have the diagram that shows a sector of a circle with center O and a radius 4.2 centimeters. Angle AOB is equal to theta. So the area formula, area is equal to theta over 360, then pi r squared. So the area from the question is 9.24 centimeters squared. So 9.24. Theta is what we are solving over 360 times the pi is 22 over 7. The radius is 4.2. So 4.2 times another 4.2. So now for a question like this one, let's reduce. First we can reduce. So 2 into 22 is 11. 2 into 360 is 180. Okay, so let's say here we get, so 9.24 times 180. Now let's multiply 4.2 times 4.2. So we can ignore the decimal. We just say 42 times 42. So 2 times 2 is 8. Sorry, is 4. So is 4. Then 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 4, that is 16 over. So we can add, we get 4. Then here 16, carry 1. Then 7. So our answer is 1764. Now if you go back to the decimal places, we have 2 decimal places. We have 1 and 2. So move the decimal 1, 2. So the easy way to calculate a number that has a decimal in paper 1, you need to ignore the decimal. Then you count the decimal places after finding the product. So let's look at 11 times theta. Here we have 11 theta. Then times 17.64 over 7. Okay, for the sake of space, let me get rid of this so I can use it for. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to divide 7 into 17.64, but I'll ignore the decimal, even this one. So we just do 17.64 over 7. So 7 into 17 is 2, remainder 3. 7 into 17 is 2, remainder 3. 7 into 36 is 5, remainder 1. 7 into 14 is 2. Now if we can go back to the decimal places, we have 2, so our decimal move 1, 2. So if we divide 7 into 17.64 by 7, we are getting 2.52. So we can now proceed. 9 times 24 times 180 is equal to 11 theta times 2.52. So we can first, let me get rid of 2.52 also here over 2.52, so that I can cancel. I have, so we can say 11 theta here is equal to. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to just divide 2.52 into 9.24. Okay, so let's check for this one. So we can ignore the decimal, or we can just multiply by 100. So 9.24 has 2 decimal places, 2.52 has 2 decimals. So if we multiply each by 100, we can get the whole number. So 924 over 2.52. Then from there we can now reduce. Let's reduce. So we can reduce by dividing with okay, 2 into 9 is 4, remainder 1. 2 into 12 is 6, 2 into 4 is 2, over 2 into 2 is 1, 2 into 5 is 4, remainder 1, which is over 1. 2 into 5 is just 126. So we have reduced, we can say 462 over 126 divided by 180. So what I've just done, I've just reduced the 9.24 and 9.52 first, so that we can now reduce. It can be easier. Now what is common in 180 and 126 is 6. So 6 into 180 is 30. 6 into 12 is 2, so which is 21. So here we have 462 times 30 over 21. So 11 theta is equal to. Now from there we can now also reduce. What is common in 30 and 21 is 3. Let's use 3. So 3 into 30 is 10. Here is 7. So we have 462 times 10 over 7. Let's try to divide. 7 into 46 is 6, remainder 4. 7 into 42 is 6 times this, so we can now divide by 11, also here by 11. So if we cancel, theta is equal to 11 into 11, 1. 11 into 66 is 6 times 10, so the angle is 60 degrees. So for a problem like this one, if you have decimal, the best way is you just keep on reducing. You just keep on reducing until you find the final answer. Now let's look at the last question, 13. The mass M of a block of wood is 876.4 grams. Correct 1 decimal place. Complete the statement in the answer space below. So if you are given a correct 1 decimal place, the error is 0.05. So for a statement like this, we need to find the upper bound and the lower bound. So the upper bound can be found by adding. So we are going to add So let's add. So let's find the upper. So the upper, say 876.40 plus 0.05. So our final answer is 876.45. Now let's find the lower. So the lower bound is, we need to subtract, so 0.40. You can just add a 0 after 4, so and we have two decimal places so that it matches. So we subtract 0.05. Okay, so we can get 1 from 4 giving us 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. Then here the remaining is 3. 3 minus 0 is 3. Then here we have 876. So the answer, so for the sake of space, I'll just write our answer here. So this, you first begin with the upper. So the upper is 876.45. So let's follow the pattern. The lower number will begin with the lower. So 86.35 less than or equal to m less than, then the upper should be on the right side. So 86.45. Okay, so this is how you can answer. Then for the last part, the length of a piece of wire is 15.2 centimeters. Correct one decimal place. What is the relative error of the length of the piece of wire? So one decimal place, we are saying the error is 0.05. So the formula for relative error is equal to absolute error divided by true value. So the absolute error is 0.05 over 15.2. So to get rid of the decimal, we can multiply the upper by 100, giving us 5 over, then 15.2 times 100 is 1520. So if we divide 5 into 5 is 1 over is 1 over 5 into 15 is 3, 5 into 12, so 304. So this is how you can simplify a question like this one. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.